What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with 420 Gamer TV, bringing you another Nerd Talk, and this one's subject is about Zoids and how we definitely, I mean, like, holy crap. The last time we actually had a Zoids game was on 360, and that was Zoids Assault, which was a strategy-based Zoids game, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad game, but at the same time, it was like, what the fuck? Why did you guys make that the last game that, we in the States got? I mean, that's kind of what the fuck. And I mean, with how Gundam Versus was, and how that came out, and how, it's been a decent long time since we've actually had a Gundam game come to the States, I can definitely hope and see that they do the same thing with Zoids. Because, I mean, it's been forever in a long time. I mean, it's been a good minute since the last time we've actually had a Zoids game. And, Japan, they've got them, the people over there, which, makes sense, but it's like, fuck. And the last one they did was pretty decent. And that was on 360, and it looked really good. I think 360 and, I don't know about PS3. I didn't really check, but I know it was on 360. But, I would love to see a Zoids game to the point to where, it's RPG status, to where, you're thrust onto, the planet of Z, and, let's say it's sometime in the far, far future, or far past, wherever they want to do it. I don't really care. But either way, let's understand that the basis of it would be that, you get certain kind of choices, right? But the overall scheme of it all is that, you have an end goal, which is, to put a certain person in power of, maybe a land, or, maybe the planet. Doubt the planet, that's kind of crazy. But, you're kind of getting the idea of what I'm kind of getting at, which is, like, let's say you choose to be a soldier, or let's say you are a soldier, and your whole purpose is to, go and do missions, and as you're doing missions for whichever, country that you're, doing it for, your whole purpose is to, actually start going up in rank, leveling up, and, pretty much armoring up and changing up, armor and specs on your Zoid, because, I mean, I would love to be able to, because if they did that, right, this is exactly what I would do if they kind of gave me the kind of, RPG customization I would want, right? Like end game, kind of like towards the end game style, Zoid I would want, right? As it's been getting leveled up, customized, and everything else. I would like to actually have maybe either a Koenig Wolf or a Command Wolf, with specific type of armor on. It'd be pretty cool to have, like, whatever it have, like, have the big old, like, sword, much like how you've seen on the new Zoids Genesis or whatever it was, with the new lighters, which are pretty badass. And if I remember seeing something like that, there was a Command Wolf that actually had something similar. But, I mean, being able to, customize from its armor's type, I mean, not just, the plain, like, squared armor, but, like, let's say actually it has stuff like, that. You know what I mean? It actually has, like, flourishment to it. It would be pretty sick. And with, the way they have the technology now and the new systems, they can do something pretty badass if they were to choose to. But I would like a Command Wolf, or Koenig Wolf, probably a Koenig Wolf, just because Koenig's badass, but that'd be awesome, too, if you can actually have more than one Zoid. You know what I mean? Like, you have, only a certain amount, like, only limit it to maybe 3, but at the same time, it'd be pretty cool to have, like, one close range, one mid, and then one far, just for specific missions, because maybe that's what you're doing, because then you are a soldier, and you're going on missions for your country, or whatever, king, probably, I don't know, but either way, you're able to actually go through and customize your Zoid, or they do it like how they did with the style, which is, maybe it's you and a group of people, and it's your guys' Zoids against other people's Zoids, which then also would add in an online feature to it. But I think they can add an online feature to fucking almost any game. It just really depends on if they actually want to or if it even makes sense. And with, something that's customizable to the point to where you're able to customize your own Zoid would be awesome if you can take that customized Zoid from, your story mode to where, your friends are playing. And take your Zoid and all their customized stuff and probably go into a tournament with your friends or against your friends and, see who's the better Zoids pilot. And of course, with how they have, like, with every other online game, they'll do fucking, leaderboards and shit. Worldwide leaderboards, which would be awesome to see. And I mean, I would love to see, Zoids from the very first Zoid show all the way to the very last Zoid show. Which is kind of where I'm getting that the cool idea of, different styles of armor and stuff when it comes to each one of the Zoids. You know what I mean? And I can just keep thinking about how badass it would be to be able to have a game to where you're actually able to go in, customize your Zoid, because I don't really care what the Zoid's pilot looks like, but I mean, I would like to be able to, have some customization with that, choosing the sex, choosing what they look like, because I mean, yeah, you're going to be inside the cockpit and everything, but at the same time, still, it's like, there should be times that you're not going to be in it. That should be part of the story, too. And it'd be pretty cool to actually have, because, I mean, they haven't done this in a long time, but it'd be pretty cool to have the inside view of a cockpit. That'd be pretty sick. I can totally see them doing that. Oh my god. I'd love it. But, I would love to see a new Zoids game. So, I mean, and Hasbro, as far as I remember, they probably still have rights to Zoids. So, I would definitely love for them to take hold of the game and say, you know what, let's do this project, and then give it to a really good RPG style, company. And I mean, like, the company who made this game, I would love for them to actually do a new Transformers and Zoids game. And I just did a video about a Transformers game I'd like to see, much similar to this one. And, I mean, just being able to go and either be a soldier or be, someone who's in the tournament style and you're actually trying to, win the big prize of being the best of the best and everything. Dude, I just keep thinking of how badass it would be. Whether they do it, or even if they do a game to where it has both. You know what I mean? To where, you have the aspect of, yeah, you're a soldier, and you're going from place to 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 place, you're doing that, you're doing your soldier thing. But at the same time, as you go to these places, they have things for you to do there. They have like little mini missions and, all that other kind of stuff, much like any other RPG. But at the same time, they'll have like a specific spot where you can actually go and do, like 1-on-1s, 2-on-2, maybe 3-on-3, stuff like that, to where you'll actually maybe unlock specific weapons or armor pieces or upgrades such as shields or, boosters or, cloaks. God, what else do they have? Oh, mines. Shit like that. You know what I mean? That would be a good way to actually be able to unlock gear and armor and weapons for your actual Zoid. And make them look a little bit different. Especially when it comes to maybe color schemes and designs. And maybe even, like if you're a part of a company, like let's say, you decide to have, like, with me, if I were to have, like, a whole entire list of people, I'd have, like, we'd be called the Wolf Pack, and it'd be all, Command Wolves and Koenig Wolves. Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty sick. But being able to have a Zoids game finally to the point to where we're actually finally able to, customize and enjoy it would be really awesome. Because that's all I think about is how cool it would be to actually be able to go in and play a Zoids game. I mean, the only Zoids game I got is for my GameCube, and I still play that shit. It's old as fuck, but at the same time, it's still fun. Because you're able to customize your Zoid. Yeah, you might be using, a Zoid's pilot from the show, but so fucking what? You're still able to customize your own Zoid. That was, a reasonable compromise. In this day and age, they should be able to go, okay, This will be the protagonist, male or female, customized whatever they look like, scars, which would make no sense considering, but at the same time, customize, being able to do all that stuff, and being able to actually, interact with other players. Being able to actually challenge other players that, are other Zoids pilots. Friends, foes, all that kind of stuff. It'd be pretty fucking sick. And then being able to, even go into an online version of it to where, you can go into, like, not leaderboards, but, rumbles, to where it's like, you get thrust into a random team against another team. Much like how they did with Gundam Versus. Lots of what they did with Gundam Versus, if they applied that to the Zoids game I'm talking about, then I can totally see it working, especially if they allow you to customize your Zoids. Because that's the thing that they didn't do that I kind of disliked with the Zoids Versus, or with Gundam Versus. Because, I love Gundam Versus. It is a fun-ass game. But I would actually like to be able to, customize my own Zoid and my own Gundam and stuff like that. That's why, like, with Gundam, I was like, oh, it was fun. I still play it. I love it. But it's like, oh, this would be so much better if I can actually, alter a color or alter a weapon or, change an armor piece, something. But, yeah, it's still a fun game. But if they were to implement the basis of that game and then start building a Zoids game around that, it'd probably be one of the best giant robot games that's ever been created in a very, 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 very long time. Except for Armor Core, and they're doing a new Armor Core, I heard, which is pretty sick. I'm pretty stoked about that. That was another one of my favorite giant robot games, but still, Zoids was one of my favorite shows, and, having a game that actually can, at least compete with what the shows were able to, produce would be awesome, which is, a decent story to it, an awesome online, just because, people aren't going to want to interact with other people who are, playing, especially if you can do, like, a tournament-style thing where, you and your friends are actually playing online and, going against other people, and, especially if you form a team like how you can with Destiny, like a fire team and shit like that, except these people are, like, permanent team members, and you can only do, certain things with a certain amount of team members, and you have to do it, or, you know what I mean? It'd be pretty sick. And just being able to, customize and, go around and enjoy yourself in a game that, feels like you have quite a bit of freedom. Maybe not be able to walk in between the locations, because, that had to be a really huge game. But, being able to go to a location, have a certain amount of, having a certain amount of space to do something, and, or, go around as the human character, and then, when certain things are necessary, then your Zoid shows up. And then, certain things start happening. That would be a good idea. Being able to go around, because, I got that idea from El Reca 7, the games for PS2. You actually played in, one, the actual suits, and you actually got to play as the actual characters. So, being able to do that and go vice versa would be pretty sick. And it's helpful to kind of, like, minimize the fact that, okay, you're now in this, like, shrunken area, but yet, the game is supposed to be, like, this ginormous game, but yet now it feels like it's tiny. Because you're now in a giant robot. And that's what the problem they'll have if they try to, make it, like, an open world game, which is why they can't do it. They'd have to do it like Destiny, to the point to where, you have your character, and you have, like, pretty much I'd say the unit that they're being traveled in, such as the thing that's pulling it and everything. And then from there you get to choose, the city or, country or whatever that you're going to. And then from there, you get there, you interact with people, you do your missions, and then you go on from there. But, yeah. I would love to see a basis game like that. It'd be pretty sick. But I think I'm going to call it a video, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope everyone has a great day, a great night, a great evening, all that great shit. You know what I mean? Catch me for my next one. Later, guys.